What is going on, guys? It's your boy Malik back with another YouTube video, and I'm going to show you all my fantasy team that I drafted a couple days ago. So if you don't know, fantasy basketball is something that almost I feel everybody plays nowadays. People play fantasy football as well, and they basically draft a team and they just roll with them for the whole season. Well, not the same team. I know mostly you're not going to have the same team when you play fantasy. You're going to trade some people. You're going to drop people. They get hurt or everything like that. So this is the team that I drafted this year. I've been playing fantasy since 9th grade. And this time around, it was like, okay, I'm making YouTube videos. Might as well show y'all what I had up my sleeve this year. So let's get it started. So first pick, I had the third pick in the draft. It's a 10-man league. I went with Luka Doncic with my third pick. Luka, I think he's going to have an MVP season. And one thing about fantasy, if you can get a guy that scores, rebounds, and gets assists, you're in good shape. They're going to get you the most points. And Luka does that as well as almost anybody in the league. So had to go with him first. I also wanted to remind y'all that the way I'm showing these players is not the way I drafted them. So next pick, I had Domantas Sabonis. Sabonis does the same thing almost as Luka. Scores, rebounds, assists. Doesn't do it at the same rate as Luka, but he is the star on the Pacers. I think he's going to have a good season. Next pick, Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey wasn't my third pick. He was more like in the later rounds, but Josh Giddey is a rookie out of OKC. I think he's going to have a good season next to SGA. Next pick, another OKC guy. I got Aleksej Pokusevski. NBA Twitter told me about this guy. He had a good rookie season coming into his second season, and he is an exciting player to watch if you haven't seen him. D-Lo! Had to go with D-Lo. I had D-Lo last year on my squad. I actually won last year in one of my leagues. D-Lo scores, assists. I think, as y'all know, like I said, Timberwolves might be a sleeper in the West. I'm sorry. Next, I got Tyreese Halliburton. Tyreese Halliburton, I had him on my squad last year as well. I'm very familiar with him. Scores, assists, and I don't know what Buddy Hield's future looks like in Sacramento, so I think he'll be a good pick next to De'Aaron Fox. Next, I got B.I. Brandon Ingram. I actually had him as well last year. I try to be familiar with these guys. I know what they did for me one year in my winning season, so I might as well bring some of them back. Jaron Jackson Jr., somebody who I think is going to have a bounce-back year. He was injured a lot last season, came back towards the latter part of the season. He just got paid some money, so let's see if he continues to ball out for the Memphis Grizzlies. Daniel Gafford, he was a good energy guy for Washington last year. I think he's going to be in that starting position with Trez coming off the bench. But points, rebounds, he's a dog. And I told y'all in one of my videos, I think Washington is going to be a sleeper team. So watch out for him. Malcolm Brogdon, a guy that when is on the floor makes few mistakes. I think Brogdon and Sabonis and Caris LeVert are going to be that three-headed monster for the Pacers. I have them kind of in that A. Matter of fact, I honestly don't have them making the play-in. So whatever they do, I hope Brogdon is a big part of it. Jordan Poole. I told y'all last week in one of my videos that I am a Jordan Poole fan. So I was like, why not draft him? I think with Klay Thompson out until maybe December, November-ish, he's going to play a big role on this team. And you saw what he did in the preseason. He had 28 one game. I think he had 30 in one game. I think he can keep it up. So had to draft my guy. Deandre Hunter. Had to go with this guy with one of my last picks or second to last picks. When DeAndre plays, he can fill the stat sheet up with his rebounds, his blocks, steals, great defensive player. And those stats mean a lot in fantasy. So had to pick up one of these guys from the Hawks. Like I said, Hawks roots. Let's see what we can do with that one. Julius Randle, most improved player last year. Actually had him on my team last year as well. So, and if you didn't know, Randle scores, rebounds, assists, just like Luka, just like Sabonis. So he's going to play a big role. And I think he was maybe a top 5 fantasy player last year. So had to get Randle. Y'all, that is my team. Like I said, when people play fantasy, they usually don't keep the same team throughout the whole season. You know, trades, dropping people. But I like my squad for right now to start the season. I actually ended up playing a game with them. I didn't play the whole thing, just the first half. So I'll show y'all guys what I got. So I rolled out with the lineup of Luka, D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Ingram, Sabonis, and Randle as my starting five. I think Sabonis and Randle are kind of interchangeable at power forward and center if they were on the team together. Randle is kind of the guy that you can let bring the ball down the court. Sabonis he can do point forward stuff as well, but Randle fits more that point forward scheme. But Luka is the guy that controls the whole offense, so you really don't need Randle to bring the ball down the court. But if this was a real team, I think it'd be a pretty solid team. It would be a lot of people fighting for rebounds because Luka likes to get his triple-doubles. Randle gets triple-doubles. Sabonis has gotten a couple of triple-doubles as well. But Russell is a scorer. He can play off ball. He can play the point. Like, it's a lot of flexibility on this team. And that's what I like on my fantasy team. Players that can do anything. You can put them in a position where if you need a rebound, they can get a rebound. They need an assist, they can get you an assist. So that's what I've learned through playing fantasy. A player that I wanted on my team was Trey. I had Trey last year on my team, and the team that I was telling y'all about where I said basically I had this player on my team last year, they won me my championship. I had 3 leagues last year. That was the team that I won with. The other 2 leagues had a lot of injuries, and COVID really messed up a lot of that. One team I had Mitchell. Mitchell went down with that injury late in the season. LeBron was on that team as well, and he went down with that injury. I had Giannis on that team. Giannis was probably the most consistent player on that team for me, but did not come up with the win. It's very disappointing. The other team, I had KD and I had James Harden. Funny thing is, I actually drafted Anthony Davis in that draft, and maybe like a couple hours later, or maybe even a couple minutes later, I asked the dude that had James Harden if he wanted to trade, and we traded. And that was around the time where James Harden was still on Houston. And I was like, man, look, James Harden is going to play regardless. He was even playing when the whole mess was going on in Houston. Even though he was saying that he wanted to get traded, they were still playing him. And after he came out with that press conference, basically letting it be known what was up, they traded him a couple days later. And, it took him time to get used to the system, get used to the players on Brooklyn. But after a minute, man, he started hooping. And Kyrie was in and out of the lineup, of course, because of his own thing. But Harden was a good player for me. He actually did better than Anthony Davis. So, very glad to have made that trade. But this year, I wanted Trae Young. Just an exciting player. Scores a lot of points. A bunch of points. Can get you about 10 assists a game. So, that was one of the point guards I was looking for. I think my other players are going to be solid as well. I think Giddey might not start the season off as strong because most rookies don't. But like I said, him and SGA are probably going to... Well, SGA is definitely going to start. But Shai and Giddey, I think that's a nice backcourt. They both have length. They both can play point guard, shooting guard, interchangeable guards as well. And Poku as well. I think Poku might come off the bench with Dort starting at small forward. But Poku has shown me last year in NBA Twitter, like I said, has told me that Poku is a solid player. So let's see what he can do. I have 2 fantasy leagues this year. This one that I'm showing you guys was the first team that I drafted. I drafted another team the next day. And I don't really know what team I like the most, but I like both of the teams this year. So I think we're going to be a real competitive team. I think we go out there, we do what we have to do, no BS. Guys, I think we get both of these. I think we get both of these teams some championships. I need championships. I'm trying to go back to back, and I'm trying to get another championship. So it'd be good to get 2 rings in 1 year. Just to throw some content out there, I might keep you guys updated with this team. There might be some minor changes the next time I show you this team, because it might be somebody good in the waiver wire that I want. I might have to drop somebody. So we'll see how that goes. I've also been thinking about doing like a mini podcast or series where I just get some guests on and talk about their journey, talk about their life, their motivations, just anything. And I just want to see what inspires people nowadays, and why did they go down the path that they went down, and what keeps them going. I think that's be real interesting to find out from some people that I know closely and some people that I just know on social media. So definitely brainstorming around that. As always, you guys can subscribe, like, comment, share, tell your friends, tell your family about me. You know the goal. Roll to 50 subs. That's all I got for today, y'all. Leak out.